In July of 2001, I was born into the world, and 4 years later, YouTube was officially introduced into the world as well. YouTube came around and started becoming popular when I was still rather young. My memory of the 2000s is very foggy, but I believe I started becoming aware of YouTube around 2008-ish, thanks to family. Around the time of the Kitty Can't Dance, Blood, and that one dancing baby video. But it wasn't until around 2010 that I slowly started getting into YouTube and regularly going onto the website by myself. After a while, I finally got an iPod Touch of my own, a hand-me-down second or third generation, I still don't know to this day. And I also don't remember when this was. But on November 13th of 2011, I decided to actually make a YouTube channel of my own, to like videos and subscribe to channels that I liked. It wasn't until a few months later that I found myself wanting to make content for YouTube myself. And around that same time, I had found a website that I thought was super cool at the time, and I really wanted to just share it around with people. So I decided to finally make a video about it and share that website. And that was around 10 years ago now, and it's when I officially started to make content for YouTube. Hey guys, it's me, Fluffy Bear, and now my channel is officially 10 years old. Well, technically that was November of last year, but I didn't realize that until, I think December-ish. But as of 10 years ago, my channel is officially 10 years old. Or I guess rather, my YouTube career, quote-unquote, is 10 years old. And of course, that I haven't been making videos the entire time, which I'll get into later. So that intro part was kind of scripted because I know myself, and there are certain things about that I wanted to get out of the way, because I know myself, and I know that if I'm allowed to just kind of ramble about this, I'm gonna talk for an additional like 30 minutes, and this video alone, I know the unedited version is probably gonna be like 30 minutes, and I'm gonna try my best to cut that down as much as possible because I have a lot of thoughts and everything. If you aren't aware, I did make YouTube videos, however, they are all private now, except for two that like I put like no effort into. I still have them up. There was a third one I would have had up, but I think it shows my sister's face in it, and I don't know how I feel about that, and I'm too lazy to ask her how she feels about that, so it's privated along with the rest of my work. Also, for those of you, also most of you who don't know, I was active through YouTube from about April 27th, 2012 to about 2015-ish. I haven't really made a real YouTube video since 2015, so although I've been technically making YouTube videos for 10 years, I made it for about 4 years and then just stopped. I've been on a 6-year hiatus, and I plan on changing that soon. Having said that though, I made another video talking about why I was gone if you're interested. It talks about all that. I don't think too many people are going to be interested in that, but it kind of sheds a light on my interesting history with YouTube, and I think this also adds to that. So without further ado, how long have I been talking? Hopefully not too long. That alone was 5 minutes. I can cut that down. Anyway, so I figured what I'd do for my 10-year anniversary is the thing that I would do is look at the list of my old videos and just kind of talk about like a couple of things, like the whole like process of what happened, the progression, everything that like comes to mind when like I look at just my list of videos. I didn't want to launch these videos because I have a whole plan for this channel. Not like a big plan, but I have some like outlines of a plan, I guess is a better way of saying it. I want to save my reaction to these for later because, I mean, some of these are very old, so I haven't seen these in a long time, mostly out of shame, but also just like, you know, haven't really like looked at these in a while, so I want to save my reaction to like what I thought made for passable content back in the day. So yeah, anyway, first of course we have never pay for apps again. That's actually what I called the original video. I didn't come back and change that title. That is actually what I called it. And it's kind of funny because I didn't mean for it to be clickbaity, but it kind of seems clickbaity now that I like, with more experience looking back on this. And the thing you might notice is this is the only video that's actually uploaded in 2012. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the, I think I did in the update video, but the short version is essentially, I actually used to have more videos. I distinctly remember being like, wow, I have like 50 videos now. So I deleted at least like 10, 20, maybe even 30. And there are some that I distinctly remember deleting, and there are some that I distinctly remember being up, that I've looked at this in the past just to kind of like think about what I was going to say beforehand, but I haven't like delved too deep into it. But I remember some that like, I remember recording, I remember making, I remember uploading, or editing even, well, editing quote unquote. I have a poor excuse for editing. I barely did shit. To be fair, there's not much you can do on iMovie, but yeah, there were videos that I remember like, editing and all that, and they were just not here. So yeah, all that to say, this is the only video in 2012. I don't think it was the only video I made in 2012. I may have made one or two more, but if I did, that was years ago. It was almost a full decade. So yeah, if I did, I don't remember what said thing was. But yeah, never pay for apps again. It's for free my apps, a thing that I no longer like. If you don't know, there was kind of a wave of like apps that were essentially like you just like look at ads and you'd try out apps that were like ads. It was just essentially voluntary ads, you voluntarily watching ads, so that, and then after a while, they give you points. After a while, you redeem those points for gift cards, and at the time of this video's recording, apps. You could just like straight up buy codes to apps. And the climate has changed. My thoughts on everything have changed significantly since then. And because of that, I'm probably going to make a video on it, specifically talking about like my thoughts and them changing over the years and all that. And I think I do want to eventually make this video public. I'm gonna have to rewatch it and see if like, make sure I don't say anything too embarrassing or too revealing. But like, I want to eventually make this one public, but with the title saying, hey, it's outdated. Check out the description for more updated take on this. But yeah, I think there was one or two more intermediary videos. If I did make them, I do not remember. But something that was kind of a thing with my channel in the past is that like, I had a lot of like random ideas and creativity, but I didn't really have an outlet to express it. And what I mean by that, at least specifically in terms of YouTube, is the sense that like, I didn't really have like a camera. I didn't have the ability to like make videos all that well. Videos, part of it, like it takes a camera, of course, but it also takes like editing software. You need a way to record everything, and some of the stuff I wanted to make, as you can see here, is like stuff on my tablet, stuff on my iPad at the time. I was heavily inspired by Let's Players, so one of the things I wanted to do was like Let's Plays. I wanted to try that out. I didn't want that to be the only thing on my channel, but I wanted that to be like a thing I can do every now and again, Even back then, I wanted to like explore and broaden my horizons. I didn't want to be bogged down to just like one thing. So the next thing is a WTF truck. Essentially, I forget where we were, because this was 9 years ago now. But sometime in mid-January of 2013, I just see this truck in the junkyard, I guess, while my mom took me, like one or two of my sisters, somewhere. I don't remember, obviously, it's been 9 years. But I just remember being so mesmerized, and I think I just wanted to take a picture of it, but I'm like, I have an iPod Touch newer edition now. I want to fucking put this out there, and I don't know. I wasn't expecting an answer, but just, what happened to it? We'll never know. Something I guess I forgot to mention, so I actually don't remember at all. I may have used my sister's iPod for this one, but I remember, so this is my old iPod, the one I mentioned in the intro. I had a hand-me-down second or third generation iPod, and I wanted a newer one because the power button was like stuck. It was hard to press down. I think the home button was like finicky as well. Not like as finicky as the power button, but it was still pretty finicky, I believe. And then after a while, the headphone jack, which, you know, remember those? Weird I could say that now. But yeah, the headphone jack was like messing up. You kind of had to like do the annoying thing. If you remember back in the day, which I feel weird that I could say that now, but I had to do the thing. You had to press on the headphones in order to hear out of both ears, which was super annoying. And not to mention, the last straw was just like it was quickly getting outdated. This was like from 2009, 2010, and it was 2012, and they were doing some major updates around this time, so it was becoming like physically outdated. Newer apps just straight up weren't supported on this iPod, second generation iPod Touch or whatever it was. I still don't remember. So yeah, I got a new iPod. I was about to say phone. I got a new iPod. I presume in December of 2012. I may have recorded one or two more videos, but if I did, I do not remember. So yeah, trucking onwards, we have Roblox Mobile Slenderman Obi. I didn't know how to title videos back then. Shocker, I was not very good at the algorithm. I did not know how the fuck to title things. Tags also meant a lot more back then, and I also had no idea how to tag. Obviously I knew how to tag videos, but I had no idea like what tags to use. So I just put like whatever the first thing that came to mind. I put like 5 of them, and I was like, okay, good enough. And apparently now tags nowadays are not nearly as good as they were back in the day. But yeah, I remember that was the thing. 94 views, which that's over the course of years. So I mean, not that impressive, but even still, to this day, that's pretty good. Obviously, at least partially attributed. Why the fuck did it take me to comments? The fact that it took me to the 0 comments was that took me out of it. Anyway, part of this inflated number is because of, I'll get to you, it's because of the rise in Roblox over the recent years. Back then, Roblox was like a thing kids pretty much only knew about, and that was it. Like, I mean, adults were kind of on it, and of course, adults developed games for Roblox, but like, for the most part, it was just mostly kids on it, and it was just kind of a thing to have fun. But over the years, it became very algorithm friendly for some reason, and I think it started to ramp up right around the time that I privated all of these videos, which I believe was in 2017. I could be wrong. Pedro had like gotten me into Roblox, I think that year. Yeah, I remember being really into Roblox, and Pedro showed me the way, and we played like all of the goddamn time. And I remember like from day one, like I knew I wanted to do Let's Plays, and I knew I wanted to incorporate Pedro into my channel, which I haven't done just yet. I've only, at the time of recording this, I only have enough time to make maybe one other video. So you probably don't know who the fuck that is, but if you're watching in the future, when I have made a lot of content with him, then you know who I mean. You know what I'm talking about. He will be on the channel. I will force him to be. But yeah, I wanted to incorporate him a lot, and he was. Spoiler alert, he was. But yeah, I wanted to share this. Also, the reason why it's 20 and 26 minutes is because I didn't really have access to a video editor, as I mentioned. It wasn't until later that I'd get access to iMovie. And it's because of that, like, I was severely limited. I think I literally tried to edit these on Windows Movie Maker, and even then I was able to do basic shit. If you don't remember, Windows came with something called Windows Movie Maker, which was viable, but extremely limited. It came free with your system, I believe. I could be wrong on that. And you can edit videos, but it wasn't anything special. I believe it was extremely basic video editing, and I did not know how to work it. It was super confusing. But yeah. Oh, I remember one video now, definitely in this era. I remember I made a slideshow. I was super into slideshows when I was younger for some reason. I like just like incorporating a bunch of my pictures that I had collected, because I've always been like a huge picture hoarder. I think I have like thousands of photos on my fucking phone and tablet now, and it's nothing like detrimental or weird. It's just like random pictures that I like, you know, random memes, fan art. Especially back then, I fucking loved fan art. And I remember one slideshow that I made with the background being Smosh's song Fire Truck. Fun. Yeah, that's a bit embarrassing. But yeah. Anyway, we're like 20 minutes into this recording, and I haven't even left the first like 2 years, so I'm gonna ramp this up a bit. I wanted to talk even more about this, but I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to consolidate this just a bit. So yeah, moving onward. Oh wait, I do have more to say about this. So one or both of these, I don't remember which one. I don't remember what it was. It was either Google or, well, YouTube or Windows Movie Maker that was like, hey, there's this new feature that we'd like you to try out. It seems like you need it. Would you like to try it out? And the entire video was like made it was made very shoddily. You could see a reflection on something, and that is a box that I had lying around. I think it was a shoebox. And I propped up my camera in such a way where it was like hanging off the edge, and it was very shoddy, but it worked. And I was like super excited, and I was like, I'm gonna do this from now on. This is gonna be my thing forever now. And I think I used it one other time, and that video was now probably deleted if it does exist. So whoops. Let this be a lesson to you. If you're like, man, I should delete that something, don't delete it. Private it, or save it and like keep it in a vault before you delete it, because I regret so much. I regret deleting my old videos, because like, I don't like, I'm proud of none of these now, but like fucking like, it's so nice to just like have them and be like, oh yeah, I remember like the Roblox Obi shit. Obi, I've never known how to pronounce it. We pronounced it Obi. But yeah, I remember that. I remember making that. I remember that being so fun. Also, if you're wondering the discrepancy of 172 views versus 94, it's because this one was in 2013, and it had the Harlem Shake at the end. I think it wasn't me like trying to be, this is another case of like me accidentally like tickling the algorithm just correctly. But like, I didn't mean for this to be clickbait, and I didn't mean for this to include a trend at the time. I was just 12, not even, I was 11. And there was a funny glitch. There was a glitch that we thought was hilarious at the age of 11 and 10. No, 11, we were both 11. Where, essentially, I forget how he did it, but I think Pedro found a way to just like, there's a swing set at the end, and you could just like fuck up the physics on that swing set, and I remember that being the funniest thing in the world to us at the time. I think that's literally the entire reason I made these two videos. Which, looking back on it now, I probably could have made it more algorithm friendly if I divided it into like 5-10-ish minute videos, but it's too late. Anyway, moving onward, because we've spent 25-ish minutes, 26, and I still am on like the 5th video, Inception at its finest. So something that was super cool about my camera was the fact that you can plug it into a TV. And a lot of digital cameras did this at the time, I believe, but I thought it was super cool because like it was just this crappy, like I think $200, I think I looked it up and it was like $200 camera, which I mean, you know, I'm grateful for. Thank you, mother, and whoever else paid for it. Obviously I'm super grateful for, but like, you know, no denying it, it was a shitty little camera, and you know, it did the job. It obviously helped me kickstart this hobby of mine, and yeah, no, it allowed me to look at videos and pictures on the TV, which at the time I thought was super cool. And I also found out you could literally just like share like what you're recording to the TV, and that's where this came from. I looked at the TV with the camera, sharing the feed of what it's recording to the TV, you know, because you know I was 12, and yeah, I was like, that's super cool. I'm gonna make a video on that, and here we are, 37 views later. Not much else to say about that one. Next video, that has 3 likes. I need to reorganize my priorities. Next video, Papa's Hot Doggeria Part 1. You may notice there is no Part 2. I think the description does it pretty well in here. Was bored, so started recording this, and yes, I will complete it. You know what? Just for the fuck of it, Like in 2024, I might complete it just for a YouTube video. Just in 2014, I said I'd complete it. So 10 years later, I finally did, with or without Flash. Yeah, I fucking love the Papa's Flash game series, which if you don't remember, because ouch, that was like 10 years ago. Essentially, I think it started with Papa's Pizzeria, the classic. Basically, you're an employee, you got hired by Papa, and you have to make pizzas for everyone. And the pizzas would get increasingly complicated, and there'd be more and more customers, and you just keep doing it. And they made an entire series, and it kind of got ridiculous after a certain point. I forget where I was like, this is just like, what are they gonna do next? Like, this is so stupid. But I mean, hey, more Papa's content. I think the one everyone at my school played was the I forget what it's called, but the frozen treat one, the like ice cream / yogurt one. Everyone fucking loved that, and I did too. That was like my favorite. I played it all the time. But yeah, I for some reason made a video on Papa's Hot Doggeria that I was gonna do. I believe everyone in the living room was rowdy, and I was super annoyed that video, and that aided to me like just not making a part 2. There's also Bagman. Bagman is a short video. Honestly, I would keep it up, but it shows my sister's face in it, and I don't know how she feels about that, and I'm too lazy to ask her. So for now, it stays privated, but later on I might ask her and be like, hey, do you care? You know, if like I blow up one day and people just like see your face in this random video from 2014, and if she says no, you guys can see it. So this is where I start to like theorize there was a lot more videos, because in March of 2014 I made my 10th subscriber special. One that I know for sure was the 10th. I see the next one. One that I know for sure was uploaded that I later on deleted was thanks for 10 subs, you decide the special. And I had an idea for 2 things for the special, but I didn't know which one I wanted to do more, so I just released the thing saying, hey, thank you for 10 subscribers, you know, this means a lot for me. That was the whole spiel, you know. Here are 2 ideas that I have for a special. One of them is a slideshow of Sonic, I don't remember why, and the other is some other idea that I don't remember, because that was 8 years ago. Lord knows what the fuck my tiny brain thought. So yeah, I had 2 ideas for a 10 subscriber special, and I ended up making a 7-minute slideshow on Sonic. I don't know why, but I did. So it's out there. It's privated, of course, but yeah, I get this. Yeah, you can see the copyright claim. And you could also see, so this one, I think there were definitely a few more intermediately. Oh yeah, I am like, there is a huge hole. Don't delete your old videos and photos, guys. Save them to a vault at least, because like there's so much history here of my channel and like of my childhood that like I don't have it anymore, and that kind of makes me sad. But it was around here that I got iMovie for the first time, and if you remember, one of my biggest problems with not being able to create content wasn't like my motivation or my ideas or anything. It was the fact that I didn't have an editor. You know, I could set up like recording my screen, and I had a camera to record stuff with, but I didn't have anything to edit that with. You know, like all of these videos are unedited, and there was more. Remember, there was more that were also unedited. So yeah, that was a thing. And this is around when I started, when I got iMovie. This a little bit before this, I think like a month or 2. Which really aided, I think, in getting 10 subscribers. I don't think I got I think I made a couple of smaller videos, and then that gained traction to 10 subscribers. And by traction, I mean I got like 2 more subs. Keep in mind, this is 10 subs. So yeah, this also, because I had iMovie, you could see it, you could see a little bit of it, but because I got iMovie, one of the things that I noticed was dead air. If you don't know, dead air is essentially when nothing is going on, and there's just a bunch of like nothing, a moment of silence that's not supposed to be a moment of silence. You know, it's just awkwardly quiet for a little bit, and that could be, you know, like a full-on minute, or it could just be like you thinking of something to say, and it takes a second longer than it probably should have been, and it feels awkward now. And one of the best and easiest ways to fill in dead air is background music. Pretty much most people use background music. I am confident that this video will have background music. The thing I didn't realize about background music was that there's music that's good as background music, and then there's just music. And I didn't understand that certain songs make for much better background music than others, There's a reason why a lot of people use lo-fi as background music. It's very good to just have in the background. This video might have lo-fi in the background. It makes for very good background music. It's very much something that you could just kind of listen to in the background, but not necessarily need to focus on. And I just kind of chose random songs that I was really feeling that day. So if I ever do release these out into the public, or if I ever watch them for a video or something, I need to find a way to isolate me specifically, because yeah, that's not the greatest. That's part of why I privated most of these, because a while back I went back and was like, what videos am I proud of? What videos do I want to stay up? And I just deleted a bunch of my older videos, as I've mentioned multiple times now. And I'm sad about that, because I realized, even if I'm not proud of, the next video, it's still a part of my history and my childhood and all that. So yeah, part of the reason why I privated most of these is because of the copyrighted music. And then I just kind of realized I'm not proud of any of these videos, so I privated all of them. Maybe one day in the future I'll have a playlist with them and they'll be unlisted, or I'll re-upload them to a second channel or something. I don't know. We'll see. The next one. Top 5 epic Sonic characters. Keep in mind this was 2014, but even in 2014 this was kind of cringe. So yeah, in March of 2014, in fucking 2nd grade, I remember having the wonderful idea of fucking top 5 epic Sonic characters. This was right around the time I started getting into top 5, top 10, top 15, 25, 100 lists. That's when those really started rubbing the algorithm very well, if that makes sense. They started to jive with the algorithm very well, and I got super into them. I thought they were super interesting, and a lot of them were pretty decent at just telling you random factoids. And I love shit that just tells you useless fucking information, like documentaries. When are you going to need to know half the things you learn from documentaries? But I still love watching them. I haven't in a long time though, so I should probably watch a bunch of them. But I like watching that shit, and I like just learning random shit. And top 5 shit was just an amazing way to get a bunch of information. But it's also just a really good format of talking about stuff. And because of that, I guess I just wanted to talk about the 5 characters I thought were the coolest. And 12-year-old me thought that was a good idea. So in 2014, I came out with top 5 epic Sonic characters. Spoiler alert, one of them's Tails. I think number 1 was Amy? Question mark? I don't know, man. It's been 8 years. Moving on, then we have Subscriber Who Cares, which is actually a video that's very close to me? Question mark? I don't know if that's the right word. But essentially, it's once you start uploading stuff, whether it's, YouTube videos or pictures online or your art or whatever, you kind of have the sudden realization, this has 1,000 views. Most of this didn't come till later. I think when I uploaded, it had 3 views, and I was extremely disappointed about that. And even that was a strong start, because they had a clickbait title, and fuck yeah, I want to learn how to not pay for apps ever again, And another thing that I wanted was part of why I loved the prospect of being a YouTuber is because I love the idea of having a community, interacting with that community, and just having fans. And not even fans is the wrong word, but just having people that enjoy the content that you make, and can have inside jokes and will be excited about your videos. That's super cool, and I freaking love that. Anyway, I got a commenter who became somewhat of a regular commenter on my channel. I forget their name. I think their name was Aiden. They commented, I think, on their parents' account, which was Carrie something. And so I made a video that was, they left a really nice comment. I don't remember it, and again, I don't want to spoil it. I want to save my reaction for most of these till later. Definitely this one, because extremely curious on what I had to say and what Aiden / Carrie had to say. I remember just being like super surprised that like this person was super nice and had checked out my other stuff, and I thought that was super cool. So I made an entire video about it. I say entire video as if it isn't 2 minutes and 41 seconds, but I made an entire video about it. 2 minute and 41 second one, but an entire video. Next we have Chaos Faction 2 Zone 1. I don't know what was going through my head when I uploaded this. I think I literally was like, I haven't uploaded in a while, like in a month. I'll just record this. And I think I had finally gotten screen recording on the family computer to work again because it was so finicky. And I was so confused, like, why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? And then something that never crossed my mind is that it's the family computer. It was probably bought very cheap because we don't have a lot of money. We're not exactly rich. We're not exactly poor, but we're not exactly rich. So it probably just wasn't that good of a computer, even for the time. So yeah, no, screen recording, very finicky on that computer. It was very, what's the word, hit or miss. And then this next video I'm extremely curious about, but again, not till later. Anyway, yeah, I don't know why I had this. Again, I think I planned on doing the rest of the game slowly, or maybe on my second account or something. I don't remember. But yeah, I don't know why, I'll be honest. I think it was what I said, but it's such a random choice. Then I have sad news, another small update. I believe there was a small update before that, basically talking about like, you know, basic 12-year-old YouTuber stuff I haven't uploaded in a while. Here's why. And yeah, in May of 2014, my grandfather passed away of Alzheimer's. Very sad. He was already pretty far gone by the time I was able to form memories, and it's a very slow and drawn out process. And now, like, Alzheimer's research and that stuff has just like been a thing where it's like, yeah, why isn't more money being funded into this? Go donate like $1 to the Alzheimer's Association if you can. I'll put a link. Yeah, that stuff's very sad, very tragic. That funeral, I remember being very, very sad, even though I didn't know my grandfather. As I mentioned, he was pretty far gone by the time I was able to form memories. So yeah, don't have too many memories of him, which is unfortunate. So yeah, hopefully we can stop that in the future. Anyway, why does this sort of all videos have 24 views? Maybe the sad news part. Do I have a tendency of accidentally clickbaiting shit? Oh yeah, also this picture is a mess, but I discovered that Photoshop on the iPad was a thing at the time, and I actually use it a lot. I tried to get it as much as possible. It was a paid thing, and I don't know if I mentioned that already, but I was a very shy kid and like asking for stuff. So like I didn't ask my mom to like buy stuff for me. Every now and again I asked for like chips at the store, but that was like it. So yeah, I remember trying to get like you know, cracked versions of Photoshop on the iPad because, you know, I had an iPad and look at my thumbnails. Do you think they were exactly curated before that? I mean, they aren't curated afterwards, but even still, that you get my point. I don't remember when. This might be an entirely different video topic, but it was around 2014 when I started to have a genuine interest in making music as well. That's a whole story on its own, but the short version is I had been getting into electronic dance music, as some people call it, and I was super interested in how you make that, and I started exploring different ways to make that in 2014-ish, and eventually I found FL Studio, and I found a cracked version of FL Studio because, again, I couldn't ask my mom for a $10 app. You think I'm going to ask her for like a $200 program? But yeah, I started exploring music back then, so yeah. Very similar fate to YouTube, by the way. But again, that's like a video, entirely separate video for an entirely separate day. And then Surgeon Simulator Touch came out. Oh, was this one I had? I think this is when I had a jailbroken iPad, because I don't think I paid for this either. And I think Photoshop is something I did not pay for either. Don't do that if you don't have a really good excuse. just pay. Just ask your parents for the money. Oh no, and then we have the Greek tragedy of the summer of 2014. Oh no, I don't know if Pedro remembers this. Why does this have a dislike? I don't know if Pedro remembers this. So Pedro and I would visit each other every now and again. We tried to do it every summer, I believe. And we would just like hang out and all that. And since I had been trying to do YouTube, and I wanted him in my videos, and I was very vocal to him about that. And he was okay with it, obviously. And I had this camera. No, it was also around the time that my second youngest sister, confusing I know, but I have 4 and I don't know if they want their names out there. But this is around the time that my second youngest sister started getting into photography and then started to not get into photography. I think she wanted to be a photographer specifically for like tours, concerts, and she was actually pretty good at it. She showed me some examples a while back, and you know, passion falls through, stuff happens. But after a while, her camera was just kind of sitting there, and so I just kind of asked her if like I could use it, and she was like, yeah, sure. And so we used it for a couple of things. I used it, I think, for a video or two, and then afterwards, I don't know if those ever came out, but I remember recording a video or two on my own. And then afterwards, where was I going with this? Yeah, so she let me borrow the camera, of course, and Pedro was coming over in the summer of 2014, and I don't remember if we had discussed this on, I don't even think we used Discord at the time. I think we used Skype still. I don't know if we had talked about this on Skype beforehand or if it was a split decision, but I was like, let's record as many videos as physically possible right now while you're here with me in person, because it's easier talking and all that in person. So let's do all that in person now, so that I have like a year's worth of like back catalog that I can just like upload and, you know, drip feed it into YouTube until the next time we can record a shit ton of videos together. And so we did. And he visited for like a week on my house. It was a very eventful time, I believe. This was, I think this was like one of our favorite visits with each other. Yeah, I haven't done that since 2020, early 2020, before I had a job. Even then, it feels weird to say that was 2 years ago. But yeah, we recorded like hours upon hours, because we would always visit each other for like a week, and we recorded like hours of video. And I remember, because the camera can hold like, I think, like an hour of content, and then we had to take the SD card out of the camera, put it onto the computer, go back to the camera, and record more. So we recorded like hours upon hours of content, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure out how to like put this on my iPad and record and edit this for YouTube later. So I remember this video being fine to the point where I could just upload this. So I did. I think it took a while. I don't think this day was the day we recorded it, but I think it took a while. It took like a few days or whatever. And so whatchamacallit, and so I had a bunch of videos just like backed up, where it's like, okay, here's a bunch of videos that I could like, again, drip feed onto YouTube for a while. And I got a couple of them out. I think these are all from that same visit, so I got a couple of those videos out. However, the Greek tragedy comes in when I forget what I struggled with. I think I wanted to wait until I bought an editor on the computer, or downloaded a cracked version of an editor on the computer, because I was 12. Well, 13. I was like 12 or 13, and, you know, getting money, not easy. Asking your parents for $200, not easy. So yeah, I was waiting for like to either download an editor or find a way to upload them to my iPad, because in 2014, like, transfer apps weren't really a thing. Apple, I believe, was very even more locked down with like the Apple ecosystem than they are today in some aspects. So yeah, just didn't have as much of the privileges that we do now with certain things like that. Anyway, going forward, so yeah, that was a thing. And then a virus got on our computer or something. Either a virus got on our computer or the hard drive got corrupted. Either way, we lost like a bunch of data that we didn't back up. And backing up was just not as much of a common thing as it is now. Even today, it's not that common, but like even back then, it was less talked about. So we didn't back up our shit. We didn't have like flash drives and shit. So I lost all of those videos, hours of content that I will never see, even if I did upload them. Even if I had not deleted them, I will never see them again. And I remember there was some like stuff that we found hilarious at the time and that I was excited to upload. And I was like, I just need to, get an editor or find a way to transfer this to my iPad. But no, God had other plans. None of that happened. I didn't upload them. I didn't get a chance to upload them. So yeah, there's a couple of remnants. I think I lied. There is one remnant of those videos, and it is my childhood arcade with Pedro A3, which used to be his thing online. His username online. I think now he's just gonna go by his name, just, Pedro, and then his last name. I don't know if he wants his last name out there just yet. But yeah, fun fact, I think it was around this time Pedro started a channel of his own. He wanted to be a YouTuber like me, well, like the people he watched, but he wanted to be a YouTuber as well. And so I was like, fuck yeah. And so I forgot which video and when I did it, but like I obviously like, hey, he has a channel now, right? I promoted his channel. I think I got him a crisp single subscriber. I think he had like 3 subs or something stupid like that. He uploaded an introduction to the channel, and then I think he uploaded a cover, and then I think he uploaded an update on why he didn't upload, why he hasn't uploaded in like a month or whatever, and then he never uploaded to that channel again. And now he has removed all those videos. I don't know if he privated them or deleted them, but that'd be funny if he did private those. That'd be funny to just like look at those one day later in the future. But yeah, childhood. Yeah, the Greek tragedy of 2014. Oh, I never finished this. I think I got distracted by the fact I had a jailbroken iPad. So yeah, Surgeon Simulator had introduced something that I had never like thought of before, and that is that you can like record a mission in the game, which is not something that was really done before. Like, obviously Apple and all that were very locked down on screen recording. You needed a jailbroken device to screen record, and that's no longer the case now. I think that changed in 2017-ish, around that time. But like at the time, you needed a jailbroken device in order to record your screen. Similarly, you needed a rooted Android device, so it's not like Android would have saved me there. I think rooting was actually harder because it was different it's different for every device. And on Android and on Apple, I mean, it's just whatever the current version is. And then sometimes there'll be exceptions. You can't jailbreak these certain devices on this iOS. It's a mess, and it's dropped in popularity because most of the things that people jailbroke for, Apple just cracked and gave us anyway. Like screen recording. Screen recording was a big one. But that was like right at the tail end of my motivation train, which we're about to hit. Then we have discussion vid number 1. Another thing that there is not a number 2 of. So yeah, discussion vid. I wanted a series. I think it was a big thing. I wanted it to be like a big thing on my channel. But I think I uploaded a video where it's like, yeah, I want to do discussion videos. I want to talk about certain subjects and just like talk about them. And the reason I say I did that was because like commentary wasn't really a thing as much back then. Like videos were much more like there needed to be a reason for a video to exist, and it's not that that has changed. It's just that it's a lot more lenient now. Like now you could talk about whatever you want, but back then it was like it needed to be a skit, or it needed to be something like educational, or it needed to be teaching you about something. Like you couldn't just like make a video talking about the Madagascar movies. It had to be like a review, and I just wanted to discuss about something. I wanted to essentially just like make a commentary video. Well, a mixture of a commentary video and a podcast, kind of short form podcast. As this one was just like straight up audio only. Which that's always been something that's always been a trend in my channel is that I've never been good with editing. Especially visuals, I never know what to put up as a visual. So yeah. So next we have Pedro and Mai's I forgot the numbers, shortish vlogish type thing. I did not know what to call this because this wasn't really a vlog. I didn't go anywhere, I didn't do anything. This was more just me and Pedro talking to the camera for a little bit, and I didn't know what to call it, so I said vlogish type thing. I remember this one actually being very fun to do. I remember this one being fun to do and was cool. Next we have Territory Wars. Territory Wars was a game that I think Pedro found when I visited him once, and then we played it and it was super fun, and I was like, we should record us playing that, and so we did. And it wasn't a good video if I remember correctly. It deserved 9 views if I remember correctly. I remember not liking that video looking back on it. Also, I tried to do face cam. That was in my living room, and it was kind of... there's a lot of stuff where it's like, it's obvious a 12-year-old made this, you know? We have disassembling a speaker. Again, I was not good with titling videos back then. I'm still not good now, but like, obviously I have to, or else, you know, I'm not gonna make any progress. Disassembling a speaker. This, I think, was an app game that I actually found one day and I just fucking loved. And it's taking apart an object, like piece by piece. So essentially what you would do is like, it would just give you like a speaker and you would have to look for all the screws and take out the screws. And after you take out all the screws, you'd have to like pull the piece out. And it's this very surprisingly satisfying game until there's one piece that you did not see, and it's this tiny little piece of shit that you have to look all over for, and it won't give you it until you find every single piece that you have to pull off of each other. It's super like cool and satisfying until it becomes annoying. And then I played that with Peter because I thought it'd be a good video. I don't remember if this was the same. I think this was a different visit actually. I think this was all the same visit, and then I think this was a different one. Maybe this one was probably part of this one, but I think this one was a different one. Yeah, I think we just recorded like these 2 videos. Either that or I took a month to upload these 2. But yeah, I uploaded disassembling a speaker, and then I had Smash Hit. Again, I'm not good with the titles. I just called it Smash Hit with Pedro Ether. It was with Pedro. We played Smash Hit. Smash Hit is another game that I fucking loved from that time. Honestly, if you haven't checked out Smash Hit, it's super fun, super interesting. I remember it being like absolutely stunning visuals for a game that came out, a mobile game that came out, you know, 8 years ago. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if a fucking indie game came out as good looking as that on PC today, you know? Like, I wouldn't bat an eye. And that came out in 2014, man. That was mind-blowing to me. Then we have something interesting, not even a year later. This is something I picked up on last time I looked at this, which I didn't record, but when I was like just kind of preparing my thoughts, like not even a year later, not even 2015, I had 20 subscribers. And this is something that it felt like a lot longer at the time, so it was really weird like looking back and being like, oh, that wasn't even a year, you know? And I have thanks for 20 subscribers. Yeah, I said leave subscriptions in the comment section and I didn't get a single comment. So yeah, and then we have Roblox with Pedro E3 20 subscriber special, and I forget what exactly we were doing. I think the premise was supposed to be a record for an hour or super long or whatever, and then we'd, you know, it'd be like just like, hey, here's a long video of us playing Roblox. I'm not good with specials. Even this one is like 10 years. Let's look at my old shit. I mean, this one is more connected with my channel and the achievement of 10 years than the others. Well, achievement's a strong word. Whatever. You get the point. And then we have 2014 was the year that Five Nights at Freddy's became super popular and became a huge part of my life. So we have me playing Five Nights at Freddy's 1, Part 1, 2, and 3. There was never a 4. What's kind of funny is, yeah. Yay, it's done. Hopefully I'll finish the game next episode, but no promises. I never finished. 8 years later, I still haven't finished. Well, 7.5. It's kind of funny. I called it Old Memes Die Hard. I don't know why. It's weird because it felt old at the time. Like, it felt like the wave had passed, but it was just beginning, you know? Fucking, especially with FNAF 2. Like, no, that meme was just beginning, my friend. But yeah, then we have one of my better performing videos, Five Nights at Freddy's slideshow. It's very much more like it's a Five Nights at Freddy's slideshow. At least beforehand, when I made slideshows beforehand, they were very all over the place. There was no central theme. There was nothing. Like I was just not giving the algorithm a bone. This one, it's all Five Nights at Freddy's pictures. Some of them are unreadable. But yeah, I just slapped them all together because, yeah, I found an app called Flipagram. I'm like, fuck it. I'll just add every single Five Nights at Freddy's picture I have. And the only song that I knew that fit that time frame was motherfucking Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites I forget which remix, but one of the remixes, I'll put it on screen if I care enough. And I was obsessed with that song, and I was like, this is perfect. You know, it fits. It didn't fit. It's dumb. And then afterwards we have finally playing it. So this is another case of like, I think there was more missing in this area. I think it's around this area of like iMovie and screen recording that I think I remember one or two videos that like I probably deleted later. But yeah, we have finally playing it. Final Fantasy 2 Part 1 in late January of 2015, and then a couple days later, thanks for 30 subs. I didn't do like a special thing. I just said thanks for 30 subscribers and then I dipped. And by dip, I mean I didn't make it special or whatever. It's just, hey, thanks. That one was a couple months afterwards. Let me check exactly how many months afterwards. Yeah, 4 months later, and I got 30 subs. Again, it felt a little longer than 4 months. It felt like another year. Like I felt like it took me like 2 or 3 years to get to 10 subs, 2 years to get to 20, and then another 1 year until I got to 30 subs. But like, no, this all happened in 2 years. Imagine how much I could accomplish if I applied myself more or for longer. We're about to get to that. My voice cracked as soon as I saw the wall. So then we have Final Fantasy 2, my first loss, which I denoted in the name. And then we have Final Fantasy 2 with Pedro. We talked about eating balanced. Oh yeah, we were eating strawberries. I think I wanted to record with him more because we hadn't in like such a long time. And then all that really ended up happening was we recorded 2 or 3 videos maybe, and I think I only uploaded 2 of them. So this was one of them, Final Fantasy 2, and then we have Vlogish Type Thing 2.0 with Pedro. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't even bother with A3 because like I just call him Pedro anyway, and I think at this time he had already stopped uploading to his channel. Oh wait, no, I did it. This is it. Pedro's channel. It no longer has the videos. Sad. So yeah, Vlogish Type Thing 2.0. We were eating chips. I decided why not make a sequel to one of the videos that I liked personally making, and I think he enjoyed as well. I can't remember, but I thought why not. And then there's Territory Wars Online. I don't remember if this was the actual last one or if this is just the last surviving video, like if there was 1 or 2 more after it that I just deleted. But Territory Wars Online. So Territory Wars was a game that we had played beforehand, and we played it again because we could play it online, and so I decided why not. Territory Wars with Pedro A3. So yeah, we were just playing, we had fun. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And little did I know that'd be the last video that I'd really upload. Again, there might be 1 or 2 more after this that like I just deleted. There were some that I remember. There were some smaller videos I remember deleting. Like I wanted to upload Nightcore because something that always interested me was like just messing with me. I literally had an iMovie thing called messing with music, and I would just add songs and speed them up and slow them down, and I wanted to do more with them, but I realized later on that was really all you could do on iMovie. So that's right, I just remembered. Oh, I'm so sad that's not up. I did a reading of a creepypastas thing. Oh, I'm so sad that's no longer up. Oh, yeah. See what I mean? Don't delete your shit. Add it to a vault if you want to delete it, but just like don't delete your old videos. Because there's some videos that like I'd be like glad to like just rewatch now, and just like because that's my childhood, man. This is my childhood. 2012 to 2015, man. I really wanted to be a YouTuber, and 10 years later, we'll try again. Hopefully it works this time. So yeah. Then we have the Great Dry Spell of 2016. In August of 2016, I made an update video saying, hey, sorry for being gone, and I was like, I'm gonna be back. 2 years later, I make another update for the channel, and then I don't do anything again, and then a year later, I make another update for the channel saying, you know, hey, I've been gone for a couple of years now. Sorry about that. Also, I'm kind of gay. I think I'm just gonna kind of leave that part kind of quietly. Like you're in the end of a video. You're committed to me right now. I don't care if you know, but like I don't know. I just feel like it's one of those things where it's like if you know, you know. Because I'm not gonna hide it, but I think it's kind of weird. not weird, it's awkward for me personally to just like say that out loud to like people who don't know me, you know? I don't know. I envisioned this being a bigger thing, especially when I planned on actually coming back, but you know, obviously that didn't happen. That was 2019. So yeah, I go into much more detail of what went wrong after 2015, but essentially I got very depressed. There was a lot of reasons that, like I mentioned, like, I think when you private them, it just deletes all the comments, but like even beforehand, there wasn't a lot of comments. There was a lot of videos I just wasn't proud of anymore. Eventually I wasn't proud of any of my videos anymore. And yeah, there's just a lot of things that built up to me, just like not quitting YouTube, but not quitting YouTube. And I just kind of, I haven't made a video in 7 years, and that feels weird. But I want to continue that. I want to change that, you know? I want to change that for the better. My original plan was to start in September/November. No, I wanted to start in August of last year, and then I wanted to get in the groove of making YouTube videos. And then this video would have been made obviously the same day to commemorate the 10-year anniversary. And the same thing kind of happened as before, where I got depressed again. So yeah, depression is something that I deal with. I've been dealing with for years, arguably since I was like 14 in 2016. And yeah, it's just been something I've been dealing with, and it destroys my motivation, and it leaves me with very little that I have to spend on, at the time, school, but now work. And yeah, no, not fun. But you know, you pull through, you manage. Eventually, you know, the help of friends, family, and a therapist. Please don't ignore therapy. It genuinely can help you. But yeah, with the help of, you know, friends, family, a therapist, I'm better. Slowly. It's a slow process, as you can tell. But yeah, I'm much better. 2019 was the worst year of my life, which, funnily enough, kind of made 2020 one of the best years of my life since like 2010. During a global pandemic was the best year of my life. But you know, it's a long journey. I don't even know if I'm at the end of it, but I think I'm finally at I think I'm at a place where either I can just like start recording videos again and uploading them, and if not, I feel like I'm at a place where I could at least force myself to upload videos again and actually start to get content out there again. You know, I'm hopeful for the future. I want this to be something. I want this to not just be something that I did back when I was 12. You know, I want this to be a hobby of mine, hopefully a job in the future. But obviously, you know, I don't want to make my expectations too high. But yeah, hopefully this is just like a hobby I can do every now and again that, you know, hopefully people enjoy looking at and seeing. Same with music. Yeah, no, it was a long journey, of course, but you know, I feel like I'm finally better, and like, I don't want this to just be a thing I used to do when I was 12 anymore. I want to actually try again. I want to try and get somewhere and apply myself. And hopefully, you, the viewer, will like to come along to the ride with me. Something I realized I never got to talking about, what that I was going at, is I never really, like, seemed to be very algorithm friendly, despite knowing how, like, very detrimental that could be to, like, performance. Like, I mean, this has got 35 views, but because that was up for like 5 years before I privated it. Well, like 3 years, which just isn't that impressive, you know? Like, you need those are rookie numbers. You gotta bring that up. So yeah, yeah, like, and there's a lot of things, like, obviously I would change today. Like, obviously, like, territory wars online. I mean, you know, and like the title of the video being shown afterwards is like dumb. Pablo the Avenger. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I didn't mention that. In this video, there was a joke of Pablo the Avenger. There was a character named Pablo, and I think he killed one of the enemies after an enemy killed another friendly, and I think we had made a joke about Pablo being like an Avenger, and I wanted that to be like a thing on my channel, and I never got to see that through fruition. Also, no one cared because I got 0 comments and 0 likes. So yeah, obviously there's a lot of things that I would change. Things I kind of needed to learn and then apply, and differences that I should definitely make now. So yeah. So this is usually the part of the video where people would put their sponsorships. But I don't know if you've noticed, I don't even have 100 subscribers. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug my Ko-fi. If you don't know, Ko-fi is a platform that allows you to easily donate to creators that you enjoy. The default payment is $5, but I set it even lower to just $1. So if you really enjoyed the video that you just watched and would like to help me out, you can do so via the link in the description below. You can set it up to donate to me monthly, and you can also set up that donation to be even larger than $1. But I'm not going to treat it as if it's like a Patreon or anything. What I will do, however, is thank everybody who donated between the last video and the current one to show my gratitude. This being my first or second video back, I'm still not sure which, there obviously isn't anyone to shout out, so if you would like to be the first, then again, the link is in the description below. $1 may not sound like a lot, but even if I was able to monetize my videos and I uploaded regularly like once a week, and you watched every single video of mine as soon as it was uploaded, I still probably wouldn't make $1 off of you alone in a year. So yeah, it really does make a big difference, and I'd be eternally grateful. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully, this is an hour and a half long that I've recorded for. To be fair, like 2 minutes of that was me waiting for a screaming child to get out of there. Get out of here. My niece came over and was crying. That wasn't fun. But I have an hour and a half of audio to sift through later, and yeah, hopefully I can cut that down to like a reasonable time. Maybe at least an hour, maybe less, hopefully. We'll see. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that look into my past, and hopefully, like, you know, something to help contextualize the future, you know? Because, like, I mean, obviously, like most, I have 50 subscribers, but most of those people don't know who the fuck I was, you know, or don't remember that I changed my name, or don't remember me, because it's been 7 years since I last uploaded a real upload. So yeah, hopefully, I can, hopefully in the future, I can start uploading more, and this will be just seen as like, oh yeah, remember when that was a thing? That was kind of funny, and less of like a pattern. That being said, I don't think I'm gonna upload regularly, at least not soon. But I'm gonna try and make it so that like my next upload is in 2025. You know, I want to make it so that I upload at least, you know, like once every like 3 or 4 months. The goal eventually is 1 upload a month, and then hopefully I can bring that up to an upload a week. No promises though. Like I mentioned, I have an entire like game plan for the channel, but it's not a very strict one, because, you know, sometimes stuff happens. You know, like I mentioned, I wanted to come back in August of last year, and then stuff happened, and then life hit me hard. So that was hard to come back from. But I think once again, as long as I play my cards right, you know, like this should be a fine time. You know, this is moving forward, a good time in my life, and hopefully this is the start of a new era where I actually try YouTube and I'm actually make content that I'm proud of, which again, I go into a bit more detail in the update video. So yeah, that's all. If you enjoyed the video, I mean, if you stuck to the end, Jesus Christ, you are a trooper. Or you just wanted something to listen to while you work. Regardless, I applaud you and I thank you. So yeah, if you enjoyed that and you didn't watch my update video, maybe watch the update video. You're clearly interested in me enough to like give a shit about my past and all that. So yeah, maybe add more context to the whatever this will be in the future. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. If you didn't, I don't know why you're here, but leave a dislike. Not that anyone else could see that, but I mean, I could see it. I could see your dissatisfaction. And leave a comment either on what your thoughts are in the things I said in this video, or, you know, tell me if you remember me or not, or, you know, just hey, just remember, or just like, hey, I remember being 12 and, you know, being right there with you, you know, or whatever, you know, whatever you want to comment. You're a free person. I don't control you. Did I have an outro? I don't remember. It's been 7 years. Bye.